Oh, that's right. Yes, people who enjoy American football. Yeah, I meant these kind of Jets. Go away. Unless you want to learn about ice hockey, then you can stay. All right. Yeah, I know sports fans. Okay, I do understand. I've been a sports fan for a really long time, particularly the National Hockey League, particularly ice hockey. But I know, okay, there are times when it's just like, oh, geez, such high hopes, blah blah blah. Okay, well, don't put your hopes so high. Also, don't put money. Don't gamble when it comes to the National Hockey League. It serves you right if you lose all your money. It's just very hard to. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just going to address this really quick. Hello, this is Dr. Mia Lueth. It is 12:09. Oh, sorry, 12:10 p.m. New York Eastern Time, USA, and it is November 15th, 2025. So it's it's hockey season. So there, I will mention a few things music related here and there, but for the most part, it's either I'm gonna probably do health updates mixed sporadically. Some of this will end up being some kind of footage in a documentary. I don't know. I had to stop and take a break from some things. But here's the one thing I'm going to go over some things, but I'm just going to say, okay, hi. Okay, see this? This is a ring. Okay, it's plastic. Okay, right. All right. Well, see, there is no ring on this finger. You see what I'm saying? See this? This is not on this naked finger walking around. So I don't care if you're a celebrity. I could care less who you are or who you think you are or how special you think you are or blah 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 blah. Okay, this is why I don't answer my DMs anymore. I just don't. I mean, quit wasting my time. Right. I don't like that. That's a shitty thing to do. Right. No, I'm not gonna. I don't care who you are. Like some of you need to reassess how special and important you are walking around planet Earth. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, there's been people online like, oh, I don't want to lose you to another, and I'm like, well, you're not here where I live, and you you won't like give me money to pack up and move where you are or set up. Yeah, that's why I'm like, what the fuck? You got plenty of resources, and you're fucking asking me. No, get the fuck away from me. Just get the fuck away from me. I don't care if you're a fucking celebrity. I don't give a shit who you are. Okay, this is hockey talk. There will be language. Close your ears, Jesus. Close your ears. Right. Yeah. So I'm single. Okay, and people want to know why. What's wrong with you? I'm like, well, let's see. My whole family's dead. I have a neurological disorder that is very difficult to understand, and with that comes this whole host of interesting, you know, crappy ass symptoms that don't really have too much rhyme or reason, unlike Parkinson's, because there's more than one kind of movement disorder. I get poked and prodded, all kinds of stuff happens. I gotta do physical therapy all the time. Like, oh great, now this I gotta go do it for the. Oh great, now I gotta get a new hip. Oh great, I gotta have oral surgery. What? I gotta what? A hiatal hernia, right? I mean, it's like I said, I go to my orthopedist. It's like, well, which kind of itis do I have now? Get poked and prodded and needled and tested on, and I'm not an experiment, by the way. And gentlemen, you're gonna put me through that kind of bullshit? You're gonna pay me like a fucking dude, then. And yes, lawyers. I do actually need to sue. Yeah, unfortunately, they've like put me in a position where I have been given no choice but to sue for malpractice. We need to bring some attention to certain things. Let's shine a big old spotlight on it. Okay, great. And what? The curve is not illegal, okay? If no one checks, the curve is not illegal. It's just a curve. This is how this works. Do you understand? Great. Yeah, I know. Paul Murray said they need a little profanity in there. Well, yes, they do need some profanity in their life. How very true. Yes, so I am gonna say bad words, which is why I say it's not meant for kids. All right, great. Yeah, so moving on to the Winnipeg Jets, which is an ice hockey franchise. Professional ice hockey's been around the United States for, I don't know, at least 100 some years. So just shut your holes, fans of other sports, who fucking think it's fucking funny. The females know and understand a pro sport and are actual like fans of it and understanders of what the fuck they're looking at. Okay, none of you are cute. You're just sad motherfucking sacks. Who are lucky that you can get a woman or a dude or whatever in the first fucking place. Keep your stupid trap shuts when talking to me. Okay? Yeah, I don't need a penis to understand the National Hockey League. Also, these people are human beings who play. Professional, right? But they are human beings. I don't forget this. Okay? So yeah, the Jets fans. Well, first of all, okay, look, I give it to you. If this was the middle of December, and we had a certain and there was still things, I would be a little more concerned. However, ladies and gentlemen, just like the vast majority of those who talk sitting on their butts about what the Jets should do or blah, 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 and who they should trade and blah, 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 and they're old and they're slow. And it's just like, okay, put on some fucking skates, assholes. Let's see if you can do better. How about you try and be better fans? If you don't think that they know that they need to work on some shit, then you must have been dropped on your head as a child. Okay? Yeah, I'm going to say things out loud. And you may not like that. And I don't really care. What you like and what you don't like. I'm just telling you how it is. Okay? Like, point blank. Y'all want to talk about, oh, the Jets need to do this and the Jets and blah, 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 and I think this, and they're too old and they're too fuck. And I'm like, well, what the fuck do you do for a goddamn living? Why don't we all try to be better fans before we all start, oh my God, losing a few games. Oh my God. Oh, they should have this. They're too old. They're too slow. I disagree with you. Like, Were you not paying attention? Do you not pay attention to the rest of the National Hockey League? Because I do. Okay, no, of course we want them to win. So we're all going. We're gonna beat Calgary. Amen. Let's go. Because as spectators who don't get paid by the club to make certain decisions, get over it and start looking at the more positive crap. Because a lot of you get proved wrong as the season goes by. Well, we can prove that because there's all these chats and all these things that we put up online. Okay? I'm not that kind of fan. And you can't force me to be that kind of fan. And who gives a shit whether I have a penis or not? I understand this game better than a lot of people who sit around talking about it. We got a good setup when it comes to goaltending. Guys will come in and guys will come out because, yes, injuries. This happens. There's only so much that Chevy can do. There's only so much that Scott and Arneal and the coaching staff can do. And there's only so much that our team can do. Do you think that they're lazy fucking dumbass idiots who don't know what they're doing? Because that's what you're saying without saying it. I agree. There's stuff we gotta work on. I know nobody likes it when your team's in the neutral zone making turnovers with grandma, okay? But it's the middle of November. What the fuck are you guys saying? Oh, we're losing our playoff spot. We're losing our... The playoffs are several months away. Well, apparently you can't hear. And of course you're going to ignore me because you don't want to hear the truth of it. You don't want me to be saying to you the actuality of the real and true National Hockey League as it happens. I get it. But ignoring me does not make me go away. Who gives a shit with the fucking playoff spot? Who gives a shit? Nobody who has anything to do with the National Hockey League is looking at it like, oh no, we're gonna lose our playoff spot. Be better fans. If you're gonna ask them to be a better team, then be better fans. Okay, they aren't inanimate objects. They're human beings. There are all sorts of considerations that go into an NHL game that gets played on ice that many of you don't consider. You would just rather bitch and complain and pretend like you know better than Chevy and Taser and Arneal and Lowry and everybody else who gets paid. And I disagree with you. Yes, I'm single. I don't give a shit what anybody says or thinks in their head. Like, okay, no, it's not a relationship when you get and you're like professing to me your great love on direct message. And you have plenty of resources apparently, but you don't want to, provide for me financially, Provide for me a place to live. Go away. I don't answer my DMs anymore. There's a few ice hockey people. Right. I would. But the rest of you, I don't give a shit who you are or who you think you are or what great importance you are and what kind of fucking ginormous goddamn ego you got. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I being ugly? Am I being unladylike? Do I offend? Good. Maybe that'll be less of you who want to talk to me. These people have human things that happen outside the 3 hours or so of a National Hockey League game. Who the fuck gives a shit about the fucking playoffs fucking right now? Because it's the middle of goddamn November. You apparently don't understand how the National Hockey League works in the year 2025. I have a whole lot more faith in them than many of you. Do you want to lose your ice hockey club again, Winnipeg? I know. I'm looking at there's some guy who comes up on chats a lot. They're too old and slow. They're too old and slow. And I'm like, okay, do you have anything of substance to provide other than you think they're too old and slow? Maybe they have a strategy. Maybe they have a system. Maybe you're too old and slow. What do you do for a living? Okay, let's all just like videotape you and listen to you and see what you do for a living. And then, not really worry about it and be like, well, I mean, he's over 40 for Christ's sake. It's like he's just too fucking old. Listen to yourselves. Pay attention to yourselves. Look at the things that you chatted on a week or two after you did. A month or two after you did. After a season. They're not going to win every single damn game. Connor Hellebuck is not too old. Taser is not too old. This is this year's Winnipeg Jets. Season 25-26. Okay, it's not last year's. Last year's is gone. Last year's had different people. Last year's had people who were still, learning. Okay, it's this year's Jets. Right now, the 25-26 season. And so what happened last year really doesn't fucking matter anymore. All right? If you want them to play better, then why don't you help out by being better fans? I saw somebody on the Illegal Curvius. They were talking, and I popped in and I saw one like, oh, if the Jets don't make the playoffs, nobody's going to come to the arena anymore. Yeah, well, that's some lackluster, lazy fandom. Ladies and gentlemen, would you like to come on and chat about the lackluster, lazy fans? Any ice hockey players in the National Hockey League want to jump on? Like anyone from the Jets organization? Would you like to at some point hop on and we'll get in the chat and then you can discuss the, crappy know-it-all fans and the people who whine and bitch and complain even though they can't play ice hockey at all. Let me nitpick everything you do in a day. Okay? That's just not true. People will go to ice hockey games even if their team didn't make the fucking playoffs. Because one, they love ice hockey. Two, they love the Winnipeg Jets. If you guys don't want to go and pay money and support the team and do all the, if you don't want to go pay money, like, okay, let somebody who actually loves ice hockey have your fucking seats. Okay? We can be better fans. We can understand better. We can listen to Scott Arneal. We can listen to the players and we can kind of understand, okay, well, they know that they need to work on this. By the end of this season, I can guarantee you, some of you are going to be fucking hating my guts. And I really don't give a shit. We need to think a little more positively. Do you understand? I've seen some in the chats who are just like, we're going to win. Like, we're going to get this. The boys are figuring it out. It's just a matter of time. Like, we're not worried. Who gives a shit about the playoffs right now? Okay? That's for the franchise and people building for the playoffs. Can't you just enjoy an ice hockey game? Can't you see the good that's actually, like, there's been good things happening even when they lose. Are you just gonna, pick another team? If they don't win? This evening, or I don't want to jinx it. But let's say they only get regular season games in, which isn't gonna happen. Or are you just gonna ditch them as fans? I mean, start to get to love the game of ice hockey, and things start to make more sense about why you're seeing what you're seeing. Okay? That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be loud about it. I'm going to keep going through the season like this. I mean, they got to go different time zones all over. A compressed schedule, like I said, I am not in favor of having them in the Olympics, and you can look back at some why. I mean, also your player gets injured at the Olympics, it's just an extra big stuff that gets in the way of the NHL season. And there's other reasons, and I've already said it, I'm not going to repeat myself. But compressed schedule, they might have personal things going on we don't know anything about. And, they can try as pro athletes to try to cope and handle, but you know what? Sometimes it's going to affect their damn game. Coaches have no choice but to maneuver lines sometimes and do all this, because no sooner one of them comes back in and starts, then, another one goes down. And yes, with the concussion protocol, it's just way better safe than sorry. And anybody who was around and knew how long Sidney Crosby was out because of 2 in a row. Yeah, and no team wants to risk that. So I don't care how special you think you are. I don't even care if you get paid to talk about ice hockey. Y'all can ignore me all you want, but I'm going to get harder and harder to ignore. And you can hate me all you want, and you can get on and call me all kinds of names and do like other people have, but I'm just going to keep, being an ice hockey lover and a Jets fan. Okay, because I don't think any of them are stupid. I don't think any of them are, unaware of how to play pro ice hockey. Some are learning, still developing. Some of these guys, you may not understand what they bring to the ice, but maybe they got somebody under their fucking wing. Maybe they're the guy who makes everybody laugh when it's just like a tough game. Maybe it's the guy who sits down and yells at everybody like, we need to get our heads out of our asses. And by the way, go down on the right. That guy's like limping around. I think he's got an injury. Okay? It's not just on ice. The coaches and other teammates. There are other factors. Okay, some guy may only get 10 minutes, but he's the guy who's always like rallying up the dudes. He's the one who's always like, making them laugh and like cheering them on from the bench. He's always lifting them up. It isn't just what happens on ice. Again, were you there for the meetings that they had to, go over the role that, the club would like that player to be in? Do you know that? You want a better ice hockey club? Then be a better fan. And if you are trying to say, oh, well, nobody's going to go to the arena and everybody's just going to, stop being a fan because they don't make the playoffs, it's just like, well, you're wrong. And now understood what kind of fan you are. Maybe you guys should go back and look at how you lost Jets 1.0. Because I don't think that some of you have been around for both want that to happen again. So we can be better fans too. All right? I know that these guys know what they're doing. I know the summer's still learning. I know that there are things that they bring to the game that doesn't translate onto what you can see with your own 2 eyes during a game. I'm going to stay positive, and I'm going to keep mentioning the good things that are happening and the fact that if you listen to the post game, at the very least, if you listen to the post game from Scott Arniel and the players, you will know that they are aware. Too many turnovers. Second period wasn't so great. We had them until the third period. Whatever. It should have come out blazing in the first period, and it didn't really happen. I'm that kind of asshole fan. If I had the means to do it, I would live in Manitoba and try and get season tickets, or better get a job with the franchise. Quite literally. I would actually live in a car. I mean, it's Canada, it's cold, but I don't care. I would go through a good bit to work for the franchise. But I gotta tell you, I need to say that it's hard to believe that some of you are actually fans. But what I want the older types to do is go back and look at how you lost Jets 1.0. Maybe you should just be happy you get to see pro ice hockey. And if you got season seats or semi-season or a way to get in there, amen, hallelujah, because there's shitloads of people, and I'm one of them, who can't do that. Okay, as fans, as far as I'm concerned, fuck the playoffs. We're not anywhere near there. I mean, the guys are building. They do know they're building. But as fans, who gives a shit? We're not anywhere near the fucking playoffs yet. And listen, okay, to the post game. At the very least, listen to the post game. Listen to Scott Arniel. Listen to the players who do press after a game. They're not too old and slow. I completely disagree with you. 33 is not old. I've seen teams, Edmonton Oilers at one point, had nothing but youngsters. Three years didn't make the playoffs. Several other teams I can say over the last 10 years had nothing but youngsters. They didn't make the playoffs. Some of them still have not made the playoffs. Okay? If you want the Winnipeg Jets to be a better team, how about you be a part of that and be a better fan? Okay, there's no reason to hit the panic button. If you actually listen to the team and listen to the press that they do, that comes right from their website and right from proper places, you will know. Yeah, they know. There's only so much maneuvering coaches can do with the personnel that they have. There's only so much that a GM can do. I'm definitely not counting Taser out. I don't think you understand Jonathan Taves. Okay? That's how I feel about that. But as far as anyone, no, I'm single. I do not have a motor vehicle. I'm disabled. I worked when I was sick. I worked disabled. Um, there's things that I can't do without proper support, and I don't care, you ignorant shits. Whoever the fucker, whatever that was, AI, I don't give a flying rat's ass. Like, don't get on my DM and no, I'm not in any kind of relationship that way. I am not averse to it. But some of you, some ignorant motherfuckers, and you will live to understand just how shitty you have been to me. And I say thank you very much for that. But fuck off. Don't come back to me ever again. I'd like an eternal separation from you. So at the very least, Winnipeg Jets and the Winnipeggers who are more like me, just yay, ooh, come on. Yeah, I'm one of those. Hello, yes, my name's Mia. I mean, I'm the kind of fan who would know when to boo. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm the kind of fan who would know when to hit the fire alarm. Okay, right? Yeah, there's times you just know, like, oh, yeah, no timeout. These guys are sucking wind. They just need to hold on. You know what I'm trying to say? But I also consider the rest of the National Hockey League. I mean, I'm just all about hockey all the time, particularly the NHL. But I'll any ice hockey, any kind of hockey, I don't care. I'm like, but right, I mean, I know the most about the National Hockey League. But some of you who are younger and don't really remember Jets 1.0 might want to talk to some who are older who do remember 1.0. And you certainly don't want to be repeating the same situation that lost that franchise in Winnipeg. Okay? So you'd be doing yourselves a favor to kind of not go so totally roller coaster. Okay? It's fine, but bear these things in mind that I am saying. I get it. Okay? Go Jets. They're one of those shows. I can't remember. It could have been on the road, one of the road to the Stanley Cup shows, HBO. It could have been one of the like Boston or the Red Line, like one of the shows that shows behind the scenes more with the NHL. And I remember there's a club, and above their door it said "Respect all opponents." Perfect. Well said. I agree. I know what that means in hockey thinking. I agree. So everybody, we don't have to roller coaster. But I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna get on chat and it's just gonna keep happening. And I know some of you are gonna like end up calling me names, and some of you are gonna and I don't care. I'm gonna get annoying and I don't care. I don't want Winnipeg to lose its National Hockey League franchise. Okay? And yes, I'm single. There's no one around here that is even the slightest bit interested in ice hockey. And yeah, I don't need certain things in my life. There are a lot of people around here who are not meant for me. Yes, I would like to actually live in Canada. Right. Because they have National Hockey League franchises in Canada too. And I was happy for the Jets 2.0. But, right, get the team back. Let's make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay? I was the source of my own income. I have no parents. I can't borrow money from my grandma. When it comes to the sport of ice hockey, I can take more shit than anybody. I don't have to. And there will be times when I will basically just like, all right, fuck you. Let's meet in a back alley somewhere in the dark. So that's that. Okay, go Jets. Right. They're not going to win them all, ladies and gentlemen. Can't fire the players. And yeah, anyway. There's some profanity for you. Or trust me, I can, yeah, I know, I can really, yeah, all kinds of stuff can come out of my mouth, and hand gestures and all this other stuff. I am kind of dude like that way. I don't care. Am I offensive? Okay, well, fuck you. Who cares? I don't. Okay, this whole thing, like, no, I'm not engaged to be married to anybody. In the United States, when you get really sick and you have to take care of your family, and you have to work while you're sick and taking care of your family, well, it shortens your lifespan a good bit. So, yeah, I think I'm actually working on my bucket list. But also, right, that's why. It's not because I didn't know how to budget. Okay, so some of you motherfuckers, okay, putting words through my computer are cowards. Go Jets. There's some truth for you.